SEBA Insert. Class 10. English Poetry Section. Chapter 1. A Tiger in the Zoo. All questions and answers in one short video. Here you go. Below are important to mark questions and answers from the poem A Tiger in the Zoo by Leslie Norris, based on the SEBA Class 10 English syllabus. Important 2/3 marks questions and answers. Question 1. Why does the tiger ignore the visitors in the zoo? Answer. The tiger ignores the visitors because he is angry, frustrated, and helpless in the cage. He knows he cannot escape or act freely, so he shows no interest in people watching him. Question 2. What is the tiger expected to do in the forest? Answer. In the forest, the tiger is expected to lurk in the shadows, hide in the long grass near a water hole, and hunt for plump deer. This is his natural behavior in the wild. Question 3. What does the phrase "quiet rage" suggest about the tiger's condition? Answer. The phrase "quiet rage" shows that the tiger is full of anger and frustration, but he cannot express it. His anger is silent because he is trapped behind bars. Question 4. Describe the tiger's physical appearance as shown in the poem. Answer. The tiger has vivid stripes on his body and moves silently on soft, velvet-like paws. His eyes are bright and full of expression. Question 5. What does the poet want to convey through this poem? Answer. The poet wants to show the cruelty of keeping wild animals in cages. He emphasizes that animals like tigers should live freely in the wild, not locked up for human entertainment. Question 6. How does the poet contrast the tiger's life in the zoo and in the wild? Answer. In the wild, the tiger is free, powerful, and dangerous. In the zoo, he is trapped, angry, and helpless. The poet uses this contrast to highlight the loss of freedom. Question 7. Why does the tiger stare at the stars at night? Answer. The tiger stares at the stars because he feels lonely and longs for freedom. The stars symbolize the outside world, which he can see but never reach. Question 8. What are the activities the tiger would be doing if he were in the jungle? Answer. He would be hiding in tall grass, waiting to hunt deer, or snarling near village houses, using his claws and teeth to show his strength. Question 9. What do the tiger's brilliant eyes reveal in the last stanza? Answer. The tiger's brilliant eyes reveal his intelligence, awareness, and deep desire for freedom. They also reflect his sadness and quiet suffering. Question 10. How is the tiger's strength wasted in the zoo? Answer. The tiger's strength is wasted because he is confined behind bars. He cannot hunt, roam, or live freely. His power is useless in a small cage. Question 11. What does the line "he should be snarling around houses" tell us about the tiger's nature? Answer. It shows that the tiger is naturally wild, fierce, and dominant. He should be free to roam near human settlements and scare people with his power, not trapped in a zoo. Question 12. What does the phrase "his strength behind bars" mean? Answer. It means that although the tiger is a powerful and strong animal, he is helpless and powerless in the cage. His strength is wasted because he cannot use it in captivity. Question 13. How does the poet use imagery in the poem? Answer. The poet uses visual and sound imagery like vivid stripes, pads of velvet, and brilliant stars to paint a clear picture of the tiger's appearance, environment, and emotions. Question 14. Describe the tiger's nighttime experience in the zoo. Answer. At night, the tiger hears the sound of patrolling cars. He lies quietly in the cage, staring at the stars through the bars, possibly dreaming of the wild. Question 15. What is the significance of the tiger's brilliant stars and brilliant eyes? Answer. The repetition of brilliant shows the contrast between the beauty of nature and the tiger's trapped condition. It also reflects his lost glory and his longing for freedom. Question 16. What does the poem say about human cruelty to animals? Answer. The poem indirectly criticizes human cruelty. Keeping wild animals in cages for display is inhumane. The poet shows that it robs animals of their natural life and dignity. Question 17. How is the tiger's movement described in the cage? Answer. The tiger is described as stalking back and forth in his small cage. His movement is quiet and repetitive, showing boredom, frustration, and helplessness. Question 18. How does the poet contrast the sounds in the jungle and the zoo? Answer. In the jungle, the tiger roars, snarls, and causes terror. In the zoo, the only sounds are the patrolling cars and the quietness of night. The contrast shows the silence of captivity. Question 19. What is the central idea of the poem A Tiger in the Zoo? Answer. The central idea is that wild animals like tigers deserve to live freely in their natural habitats, not in captivity. The poem emphasizes freedom, dignity, and natural behavior. Question 20. Why does the poet use contrast in every stanza? Answer. The poet uses contrast to highlight the difference between a tiger's life in the wild and in the zoo. It helps the reader understand how cruel and unnatural captivity is for wild animals. Question 21. What does the poet suggest about the tiger's natural habitat? Answer. The poet suggests that the tiger belongs in the wild, in the forest, near water holes, or in tall grass, where it can live freely and hunt naturally. Question 22. How does captivity affect the tiger's personality? Answer. Captivity turns the strong and wild tiger into a silent, helpless, and frustrated creature. It steals his freedom and natural instincts. Question 23. Why does the poet repeat the structure "he should be" in the poem? Answer. The repetition emphasizes how far the tiger is from where he truly belongs. It highlights the unnatural and painful life of a caged animal. Question 24. What are the tiger's emotions in the poem? Answer. The tiger feels anger, frustration, sadness, and helplessness. He is quietly enraged and longs for his lost freedom. Question 25. What is the symbolic meaning of the cage in the poem? Answer. The cage symbolizes restriction, loss of freedom, and human cruelty. It stands for the unjust imprisonment of wild creatures. Question 26. What role does the setting play in the poem? Answer. The contrasting settings of the jungle and the zoo highlight the tiger's suffering and the difference between natural freedom and forced captivity. Question 27. Why does the poet include images of nature like shadow, long grass, and water hole? Answer. These images show the beauty and freedom of the tiger's natural habitat, which contrasts sharply with the dull and lifeless cage. Question 28. Explain the meaning of the line, "and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars." Answer. It means the tiger looks up at the stars with hope, sadness, and longing. It reflects his desire for freedom and a better life. Question 29. How is the tiger's hunting instinct shown in the poem? Answer. The poet says the tiger should be lurking in shadow, and sliding through long grass to hunt deer, describing its natural hunting behavior. Question 30. What message does the poet give to the readers through this poem? Answer. The poet gives a message of wildlife protection and compassion. He wants us to respect animal rights and allow them to live freely in their natural environment.